What is going on, guys? Welcome to your Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics that you send through to me on Twitter. And yep, as I said before, special boy, man, are doubling up this week, or tripling up, should I say. Normally you get 2 a week, but because I was dealing with the new business and I was super busy, you only got 1 last week, so you got 3 this week. Also coupled with that, I've been training for my fight. We're 3.5 weeks out now, so make sure you go and check over the vlog that I did. Obviously, Expressions in the house. We got Michael Venom Page in the building, and also Heavy D as well. So if you haven't seen that already, make sure you go and see that. Fucking hilarious scenes, man. Training is going amazingly well. The link to the tickets are in the description. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. It's gonna be one hell of a fucking night, man, and I'm just looking forward to just teaching these guys a lesson, and then we can hit the after party, hit the tequilas, and yeah, let's just have a good one, man. It's for a very good charitable cause, and yeah, as much as it is charity, it's a grudge match, man. I'm looking forward to putting hands on, you get me? And there's been a lot of talk from the other side, so I can't wait for that all to finish. So yeah, grab your tickets. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Also, Mark will be there as well. Flex is away, so Flex won't be there. He's away with the missus, boy. Like, we got to take some time off. And yeah, unfortunately, it has to be during the fight. But without any further hang-ups, let's get straight to your questions. At Alessandro Vittorio Rans Red Talk, I know you mainly focus on United usually, but shed a light on this for a second. How long do you reckon it takes for a manager to show his influence at a club? For instance, it was quick with Sarri, and Emery showed signs at the start of the season and then modified one. Absolutely, bruv. This is why I still have reservations about Ole Solskjaer, because we saw Sarri ball coming immediately, bruv. We saw Jorginho drop in, boom, 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 boom. We saw what he was trying to do straight away. The same was with LVG, bruv. I think that LVG is a proper coach, bruv. I think Sarri's a proper coach. You know what I mean? And them man there, yeah, if you look at both of them as well, yeah, like one thing they got in common is like their age. They're quite old, bruv. Like they got that PE teacher look about them, yeah, but like they've got time. Like, because Sarri likes to coach ballers, that's the reason why Hudson-Odoi and like, what's his name, Loftus-Cheek got games, blood. If Jose was there, them two men wouldn't have played. But Sarri likes to mold players when he can, because he's got a very specific philosophy, just like Louis van Gaal, bro. So I see a lot of similarities between them two as managers. What else did you say? Yep, and also Emery as well, bro. I just think with Solskjaer, I ain't seen nothing different, bro. All I saw was players more confident and more relaxed, and more inclined to express themselves. That's all I saw in terms of difference. Other than the actual football, there weren't much difference, bro. To be honest, like the football under Jose was shit. The football under Ole has been shit as well, but the difference is, yeah, we've just been a tad bit more clinical. So I think unless something changes drastically in pre-season when he gets his players in, I am going to be questioning, man. I have to. Right now, I'll just say it's not his players, even though I think he should still be putting his stamp on there. There should be something. I haven't seen anything. However, if he still signs his players and the football still looks flat, then I will 100% nail it down to the manager, because you have to. And when I'm looking at Pochettino, Klopp, Pep Guardiola, even with like the same level of players, do I think Ole tactically and as a coach is at the same level as these man? Honestly, if on my heart of hearts, no, I don't. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting, guys, to see how this unfolds. But I think that's a great question, because that is my biggest reservation about Ole, is I haven't seen anything different in terms of style of play. Even if we were playing better football and we were still losing, but I could kind of see where he was going, then at least I could say, you know what? If we had better players playing in this system, then we'll be all right. It's just like LVG. Up until the final third, the football was beautiful, like the possession, everything like that. It's just in the final third, there was no risks. Man, we're recycling the ball back across the box and going backwards from being in our own half. I didn't like that. But I stand by, if LVG had the quality of players that like Mourinho had. If LVG had a Zlatan and a Pogba, do you know what I'm saying? And a Bailly and a Lindelof, and then I do believe that the football would have been better. I do. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is LVG heavy because LVG spoke about how the club was run recently in an interview. So there's going to be a few questions. This one is from @K1, and it says LVG came out and spoke about how the club isn't run by football people. Would he be a good candidate for director of football? LVG would be an amazing director of football, blood. I honestly believe that he shouldn't retire and that should be his role, bruv, because he is the epitome of a director of football, blood. You see what he done at the academy in Ajax, done at Barcelona and that. This guy, this is what he is, bruv. This is what LVG is, man. He's a nurturer of talent. He's got a very good eye for talent. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that LVG would be amazing. Amazing. I'd go as far as saying if we kept LVG, like, and we actually spent the P's, bruv, we could have done some madness, you know, because, yeah, we won the FA Cup, and I'll be the first to say, yeah, when LVG was in there, I was becoming disillusioned with the football only because of the negativity in the final third. Everyone said that LVG's football was the most boring. I disagree. I grew up watching Italian football, yeah, like that was my first love, like. It was one of them ones where I grew up, my uncle used to have me watching Football Italia on Channel 4 all the time. Do you know what I'm saying, bruv? Like, it was always Ruud Gullit, George Weah, all these man, bruv. I was in the garden practicing bicycle kicks and that. Like, you know them ones there, like Del Piero. I've got an Italy Del Piero shirt till this day, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So before, like, I was properly, like, in love with United, like, I just had my players, bruv, and I was just watching football, bruv. And most of the time, it was Channel 4, because back in the day, like, Premier League football wasn't on all the time on TV like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking like, how old would I have been? This would have been early 90s. So early 90s, you couldn't just watch Premier League football like on demand like that. It was a match of the day thing or there was no football on. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, I grew up on that. So I grew up on this patient, technical football, technical footballers. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so because of that, I have no problem with the LVG style of football. I had no problem with it. So I know I was in a minority with that, but I don't have the typical mentality that you would have from like British people when they're watching football. They want hell for leather, fast football, like end-to-end shit. I'm happy to keep the ball, bruv. I'm happy to keep it, innit? So I do think that if LVG, like if we gave LVG a bit more time and we spent more money with him, we would be a lot better off than we are now because he actually thinks ahead. So him for DOF would be a very, very fucking good shout. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. Obviously it's not going to happen, but I think that's a very good shout. Next one. What is that, you again, bro? Yeah, at Eston Fan Fargo 6. I'm sure I read you out already, bro. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Some people, like, the thing is, with me, I read all the questions. If I like your question, I'll just read it out. And it just so happens that there's a lot of people whose questions I keep reading out, which just tells me, yeah, that I like the way you think about football. I like the way you see the game, bro. Like, and it's refreshing, bro. I like that. And that's the good thing about interacting with you guys on Twitter as well. Make sure you're following that Twitter page. Is that there's loads of people, I don't know any of you, yeah, but I interact with you regularly and I see your Twitter handles and I just know, you know what, this guy talks sense. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice to have that, bro, within the community, because there's a lot of United fans that just are mad sentimental and talk hella shit, bro. And you can't say anything about the club, yeah, that's not positive, or else these lot have got their fucking toys flying all over the place. All right, should LVG have been given more time? Built a strong youth foundation and also a good philosophy of ball retention, proper possession football, and building out from the back. Under him, I saw us dominate at Anfield, Stamford Bridge, and even at Etihad. Biggest mistake post-Fergie era. Thank you. Man just said everything that I pretty much just said there. I agree. See when we slapped Liverpool, yeah, one field. Bruv, that's my favourite Manchester United game, yeah, post-Fergie, blood. Because it was the Dippers. And because we dominated them, we whacked them up. And nobody thought we were favourites in that game. No one. Like the way we clapped them. Like man are not favourites at Anfield. Even Fergie wasn't bossing man at Anfield. We slapped them. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And that's what I mean. LVG had the ball retention. He had the cultured football on smash, smash, smash. For me, like, boy, if I knew at the time, yeah, that Maureen was gonna come in and do what he did, I would have been screaming from the top of my voice, blood. Keep LVG for one more season. I can hold my hands up and say I took him for granted when we had him, because I thought that Mourinho, I was so tired of not winning anything that when I heard Mourinho, like it romanticized it for me, and I kind of thought, you know what, Mourinho's just gonna have us winning again straight away. I didn't think about the bigger picture, like a lot of people didn't. We were just thinking mad short term, and in the end, I think that sacking LVG and bringing in Mourinho was probably our biggest mistake. I'd probably say even bigger than Moyes, because Moyes, the mistake was made so early on and rectified so early on. Moyes hardly spent any money. Like it was, you know what I mean? It was very minimal damage, but the amount of money that Mourinho spent and the poor signings he brought in has had a more detrimental effect to us, I think. Let me know what you think in the description. You may disagree, but I'm with this guy. Says lyrical _ something, whatever, left striker. Who would you choose to replace Matic? Ndidi, Partey or Rabiot? On our budget, has to be Rabiot. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd want to bring in another midfielder. If we could bring in Rabiot and Ndidi, be very sick. For me, I think we need two midfielders. Fellaini's gone, and Herrera's gone. So we need two centre mids, innit? But I like all of them. Partey's a banging baller. Rabiot's a baller. Ndidi's a baller. I think stylistically, Rabiot's closest to Matic. Matic isn't a DM, bruv. Like, you want him to be, but he's not a DM. He likes to dribble and bomb forward. Matic is a shit box-to-box, really. That's what he is, innit? So, yeah, box-to-box, Rabiot's definitely that. In terms of holding, I'd love it Ndidi and then a Rabiot, like, to carry the ball in between, and a Pogba. That's if we were trying to save money. If we weren't trying to save money, I'd get an Ndidi, I'd get an Dembele. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, brother, I'd still cop Rabiot on a free. Fuck it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He's free, blood. That's just what it is. Could we play Ndombele and Rabiot? Yeah, probably. Like, we could just make it work, bruv. And Pogba. But either way, very good question. But for me, on our current budget, I'd cop Rabiot because I do want Ndombele. If De Gea is sold this summer, should United buy another keeper? Give Romero a chance. I'd give Romero a chance for a season, see how it works out. As far as I'm concerned, a goalkeeper's only as good as his defence. And if we do get in the lit, and yeah, and our defence is a bit stronger, I think we don't need a world-class goalkeeper, because it's mad. Like, you see even Liverpool's goalkeeper, Alisson, yeah, everyone say how good he is, yeah, but you never really see Alisson make amazing saves. But what Alisson does well is he makes the saves that he's supposed to make. You know them ones. Like, almost a goalkeeper not making mistakes is as good as a goalkeeper making an amazing save. Because most of the time when keepers get beaten, like, man are making dumb mistakes, bro. Like, if you just got a keeper that don't make a mistake in terms of positioning, doesn't make a mistake instead of catching and punching, that's as good as a goalkeeper that makes these amazing fucking ridiculous saves, but then makes howlers, bruv. Like, Hugo Lloris has always got a howler in him. Do you know what I mean? If you just take mistakes out of Hugo Lloris's game, it probably brings him up a level as a goalkeeper, but the mistakes are always going to be there, if you get what I mean. So, for me, like, Leicester won the league with Schmeichel in goal. You can't tell me Schmeichel's better than Romero. So, it's one of them things where, if man said, right, you have to keep Romero for one season in goal, I'd be like, cool. It's not the end of the world. Because if we're reinvesting the 70 million we get for De Gea, say we get 70 million pounds for him, yeah, I'd rather invest that somewhere else in the pitch. I really would, because I feel like we're lacking in many more other places. Let me know what you think in the comment section. At United _news, do you think Ole will change our style of play over pre-season? And will we see attacking football next season? Bruv, I don't fucking know, if I'm honest. I really don't know, because I have to be honest, yeah. As a coach, tactically, I have my reservations about him, innit? Like LVG come out, the LVG name drop again, saying that the football he plays isn't too dissimilar to Mourinho's. He surrenders possession, he plays on a counter-attack. It's just that the counter-attack's a bit more high-paced, which I have to agree with. Our ball retention is fucking borderline disgraceful. So, will we see attacking football next season? I do not know. That will very much depend on who he brings in and also if he has it in him. If he doesn't, and we're not playing well and we're not getting the results, I do expect the fans to turn on him quite soon, because quite a few of them have. So let me know what you think in the comment section. How do you feel like Ole, tactically, is going to set up next season? Do you think he's got it in his locker to improve us, or do you think that what we're seeing now is pretty much his ceiling? At Adil Farmy_PP6. I personally never wanted Ole in the job, as I feel he doesn't suit the needs of modern scientific football that is played in the Premier League nowadays. But speaking hypothetically, if Ole was to get sacked next year, could you tell me who would be your favourite candidate for the job? Pochettino. Has to be. Even though I blame him for Tottenham not winning the Champions League, because he started Kane, he bottled it. Also, he didn't take Ali off when he was playing shit in time. There's a few things that was definitely Pochettino's fault. However, Poch is the man for the job. He's the man to build. He's the man that can operate on a shoestring budget. He's the man that can get man playing a certain type of football. He promotes youth. He does all the things that a Manchester United manager should do. So Pochettino for me, guys. At Bosshead Dre. Yo, Rants, can you talk about how I see some fans wanting United to sell Pogba, our best player, for Madrid rejects, as if Madrid would sell their best players? We should be building a proper squad, not ripping it apart. What other clubs would sell their best player and World Cup winner? They wouldn't. This is it though. We're trying to talk about improving and getting back to where we came from, but these men are screaming for us to sell our best player, bro. It don't make no fucking sense. That's what I mean. A lot of these men I can't predict him. These men will cut off their own fucking nose to spite their face. It don't make no sense, innit? We do not sell our best player to try and improve. That does not happen. That doesn't make no sense. How can we improve as a team by losing our best players? No, doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? And if it was to work like that, the only instances where I can say that it would work is if you already have a good structure in place. For instance, Liverpool sold Phil Coutinho, who was their best player at the time, arguably, yeah, and they improved as a team because they reinvested the money well, and they also had a structure already in place for the team to thrive regardless, irrespective of him. Whereas now, how we play football is based on Paul Pogba, bruv. Like, if Pogba has a good game, we have a good game. If Pogba has a quiet game, we don't have a good game. So while we're so reliant on him, like, selling him is not the answer, bruv. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. At NACA and it's bare dots, bruv. Nacalated Cooley, it says. Do you think it would be unethical if we just accept yet another mistake made at the club and release Ole? Pochettino will be analysing his career now after the Champions League defeat. Should we just try and get him now? Thanks, brother. Bro, like, you see, in business, you have to be ruthless. That is why, like, management and power is not for everyone, because some people just do not have the minerals to make executive decisions. Me personally, if I'm on the United board and I have an inkling that Pochettino is available, blood, I pull the trigger on Ole. I do, innit? Like, I'll do this mutual consenting with him, yeah, where I'll just tell him, yo, I'll pay you off your compensation package. It don't have to go out like I've sacked you or anything like that. But this is what we're doing, Ole. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what, 2 wins out of your last 12 games or something like that? That's relegation form. Like, he should have been sacked on that run alone, bruv. Real Madrid would have sacked their manager for that. So, this is not me saying Ole out either, because I'm not Ole out. I will stand by that. I'm not Ole out at all. I want to see what he does when he has his own players. But what I'm saying is, if I was in that position, as I said earlier, I can see arguments 4 and against keeping him and getting rid of him. So I'm not gonna categorically be like, oh, if you're Ole out, like, you're not a proper fan. I've seen enough that if I wanted Ole out, I could put together a good enough a good enough reasoning for that. So for me, if Poch is available, I'd still pull the trigger. And I wouldn't say it's unethical, because I believe with the numbers, like if I sat down with Ollie and I said, bro, you lost like 10 out of your last 12 games, bruv, I think he would agree, yeah, that he's lucky to still be in a job. All right. Aaron O'Callaghan, LVG on Woodward. Basically, Ross Clark, blood. Basically, what LVG said, which everyone kind of really knows, is that Woodward's a money man. He was an investment banker, I think, and a broker or something like that. He was brought in for the sole purpose to help capitalise on Manchester United's global appeal and actually generate more income for the Glazers. And that's what he's been doing. He's not a football man. So when LVG's come in saying, yeah, that Ed Woodward's not a football man, and basically you're relying on him and the chief scout to make signings, and it's not conducive for the betterment of the football club, I completely agree. And I think that's why I'm so optimistic when I'm hearing about director of football, and when I'm hearing about like a consortium of ex-players to identify talent, and that's just better than what we have. Anything's better than what we have, because we can't be relying on Mr. Bean here to tie up deals. Man needs to get us a pot noodle sponsor or something. Man needs to be getting us bumper sticker sponsors and that. He don't need to be worrying about football, bruv. He's not a football man. So everything that LVG said is facts, bruv. Like, you can't argue that. Like, we know this all already. Do you know what I mean? It's good that LVG's coming out and he's reiterating these things. And he also said, I did want Di Maria. So everyone came out before, like, and there was this kind of idea that he didn't want Di Maria and it was an Ed Woodward signing. Now he's come out and said, I did want Di Maria, but I couldn't have legislated for the fact that he wouldn't acclimatise. He just didn't fancy it. So that dispels the myth that Di Maria was just given to him. Like, he said that he did sanction that deal. So overall, 100% with LVG. And to be fair with LVG, even if he is ridiculous sometimes, he's nothing other than honest. Like, when man ask his opinion on things, like, he tries, and he's pretty much straight down the middle as he can be. Let me know what you think about that. And last but certainly not least, it says K-Star Chester or something like that. How painful is it to see players like Bruno Fernandes talking about how he would prefer to go to Liverpool? Have we managed to lose the giant club status, or do you think it's still there but we're damaging it more and more? Bro, brilliant question. And what I would say is we've still got that star status. The difference is the longer you go without a winning, the less people care about you, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, for instance, remember we were in the run for Eden Hazard. He went to Chelsea because Chelsea was spending peas and Chelsea just won the Champions League. Had Chelsea not won the Champions League that year, I believe Eden Hazard comes to Manchester United. People want to go to teams that are winning, bruv. And I had an argument with someone on Twitter. They were like, oh, can you see Manchester United losing new fans to Manchester City and that? And someone said no. And I said, listen, you know why we will? Maybe not this generation, but in 2 generations' time, Manchester United have a global fan base the size they have, yeah? For several reasons. Obviously, there was a lot of post-Munich disaster. There was a lot of sympathy and also a lot of love that was shown towards the club, and people had started to build an affinity with the club globally because of that. Loads of clubs all over the world come together and people in different countries to acknowledge that. But also success, bruv. The reason why Liverpool got such a big following is because their success that they had in the 80s. The reason why my dad supports Liverpool and that generation, a lot of the Jamaicans in that generation, was a combination of having John Barnes at Liverpool, but also Liverpool being the dominant force in the Premier League in a time where our parents were growing up. Like, do you know what I mean? They were teenagers in these times. So it's one of them ones where the success will bring you fans. Like, I've got followers in other countries, whether it's in Asia, whether it's in like the Middle East and all of this, and they're saying they're starting to see more Man City shirts now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even I had a fan in Leeds and he was even saying, right, man, seeing more Man City shirts now. So the little youths growing up now are seeing Sergio Aguero, they're seeing Sterling and all of that, and they want to be Sterling in the playground, bruv. They don't want to be Jesse Lingard. Do you see what I'm saying? I want it to be Eric Cantona in the playground or Ryan Giggs. These men would rather be Man City players. They don't want to be Man United players. These Man United players are not inspiring at the moment, and they're not winning nothing either. So if you're a little kid in the Middle East, yeah, and your parents don't like football, and you're not inheriting a football team from your parent, you're going to support Man City, or you're going to support Liverpool. You're going to want to be Mo Salah. You are. Because naturally, teams that win things, yeah, attract the fair weather fans. That's just how it is. Like the teams that are not winning things, yeah, like the only time you're going to get a man grow up and be like, yeah, I support Newcastle, is if man's from Newcastle. Or if like one of their parents support Newcastle and they've inherited a club. But if you've got free reign to choose the club that you support, you're going to choose Barcelona because of Lionel Messi. You're going to choose Liverpool. You're going to choose Man City because ultimately you're going to choose teams that play good football and are winning. That's what you're going to do. So this complacency that if Manchester United continue to not do well on the pitch, they're still going to have the same commercial power all over the world is nonsense, bruv. Because a lot of these fans in other countries don't have no loyalty to Manchester United, bruv. They don't. It's just like my brother's Tottenham. Fucking Son has more fans than Tottenham Hotspur. If Son went to Manchester United, all of them fans would come to Manchester United with Son, bruv. Them man are not Tottenham fans. They're Son fans. So you got to understand the whole tribalism, yeah? And the whole tribalism and the whole you've got one club for life, that's only valid here, bruv. When you go abroad, most of these fans, yeah, they only support the club for a reason that can change at any moment. These men are not guaranteed. They're not guaranteed fans forever. And that's not me saying every fan that's not an English fan, yeah, will turn on United. I'm not saying that, bruv. Because a lot of fans abroad, there's a reason why they support United. They've probably inherited it from a family member or something. Or there's expats that used to live here and they've moved abroad and stuff like that. I'm talking about your casual football fans. If you're watching this channel, you're not a casual football fan. Because you go out of your way, yeah, to watch football content on a weekly basis. You're not a casual fan. Casual fans are these men that have the shirts but don't even know who's playing. Casual fans think that David Beckham still plays for Manchester United, blood. There's certain casual Arsenal fans that ain't watched it since Henry played. A man probably still thinks Henry plays. Do you see what I mean? Those are casual fans. And there's a bag of those casual fans that have shirts and have all these other things, bruv. And they'll switch on you in a second, bruv, for the team that's playing well. So don't ever get it twisted. Winning is going to keep new fans interested, bruv. And the fair weather fans, that's what's going to tip it on your side. And United have a lot of fair weather fans at the moment. Those fans will start supporting other teams and their kids will start supporting other teams. And people that just don't have a team in general will start supporting other teams, bruv, in generations to come. Even if it's like, say, 10 years from now. If United don't win another trophy for the next 10 years, all the new kids growing up are not going to be Manchester United fans. I can guarantee that. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, guys. As usual, it's been emotional. Big up for all your sick questions as usual. Make sure you smash the like button. Share that. Hit your comments. It's good to see you interacting in the comment section. Make sure you go and watch that vlog if you ain't seen it already. Enjoy that. Ticket links in the description if you're going to come down and support man at the O2. Also, the Instagram for my boxing club, I'd appreciate if you support that. We're trying to build up the numbers on social media, so every single follow helps. And yeah, man, appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you look out for the Flex and Rant show tomorrow, and also the WTF football show. We're working out here, guys. Peace.